Sometimes I catch his YouTube stuff. He's a truck driver, liberal guy. And he was talking about the MAGA guy that went, he's going to own the libs. He went to the Denver, Colorado thing and fell on his face twice. So he was talking about that today. And, nobody touched this guy. Through his own clumsiness, he fell and face planted twice on the sidewalk. So he was talking about, driving trucks, and that there are a lot of MAGA guys driving trucks, and they all say they're going to kick his ass at the truck stop. He said, yeah, I walk out there, and people can see me. Nobody's kicked my ass. They're all a bunch of snowflakes. Now, I have to say, I used to drive semis. I drove for Starnes out of Whittier, and I drove from LA out down that area. I'd pick up the produce, and I'd go all the way every week to New York, drop it off at the Canadian border, pick up an empty. I'd go to New Jersey, pick up steel cable, and bring it back. That was every week turnaround. So when I say I drove, I mean I drove from one end of the country to the other end of the country every week. And I have to say, now when I drove, it was way late in the late 70s, early 80s, somewhere around there. And there are a lot of alpha males driving. And alpha males just in the industry itself. They're all big, rough, tough guys. Yeah. So, when I drove, I had a partner. My partner was male. And he was good. He didn't put up with any of this crap, this nonsense, We'd go to pick up steel cable. And one time we're going in to pick up the cable. And the guys at the front of the thing said, your girlfriend can't come in. He said, she's not my girlfriend, she's the other driver. And they go, well, only one driver can come in. So he pulled the brake, he hopped out and then said, she goes in and picks up the loader and doesn't get moved. Yeah, he was a good guy, He didn't put up with this bullshit, that they try to pull and nonsense. So I went in and picked up the load. But, you get a lot of crap. Another place I went, I was having to pick up, it was soup. I can't remember which company it was, but it was basically that thing. And I was backing the truck, backing it up, and they were razzing me and giving me a bunch of shit, so I just pulled the brake and said, you back it up. I came back and it was still sitting there. What happened, big shits? Why isn't the truck backed up? So I got in and backed it up. So I have a lot of stories. I drove in San Francisco for a time. I drive a semi in San Francisco. There was one place, and it was delivering to a grocery store. And it was not built for semis, because to deliver to this grocery store, you had to actually pull up on top of the center divide there to back the truck into this really narrow, I mean, you had like this much room on both sides of the trailer to back it up into this store to deliver. That was insane. When you have to pull the truck up on top of the, divider there in order to swing it and back it into this really narrow. Yeah, insane. Yeah, driving a semi in San Francisco is a lot of fun. Not. Okay. But yeah, I dealt with a lot of nonsense. I had a boyfriend for a short time. He's the one that talked me into driving. Now he was, he wouldn't be that alpha male type thing, but he was wearing Western clothes all the time. Looked like a fashion model. He never got a speck of grease on him. I'd get out there 2 seconds, I'm covered in grease. I don't know how it did it. But anyway, it was coming near Christmas and I took a driving job because I wanted to get a nice gift. And I came back and he was accusing me of sleeping with the other driver and all this nonsense. And I said, it's bull. And then he said he found out he's got leukemia and I wasn't there to support him. And I would, he just ran this whole drama on me. What? I have nothing, if you've got leukemia, I have nothing to do with it. But yeah, he decided he was going to, be pissed off at me because he found out he had, or so he says. So he said that he found out he had leukemia. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I didn't stick around to hang out. I was, I'm not going to sit here and be abused for your crap, whatever nonsense you've got going on, and you want to blame me for whatever's going on with you. That's not going to happen. Accuse me of sleeping around and accuse me of this and accuse me of that, and I hadn't done any of it. So that was the end of that. Now where he was driving, it was short runs, okay? He wasn't doing big long things. It was from Arizona to, where did he go? I forget, but it wasn't long runs, and he had a driving partner as well, but they had short runs that they would do. But I never saw anybody that could dress like a fashion model and never get a drop of grease on them. I don't know how he did it. But one thing I know, I'm not going to hang around and take abuse. That's not going to happen. But yeah, in the industry, you've got a lot of alpha male type personalities out there driving. So I like listening to this guy. He's funny. But he's definitely a liberal. And, when you're on that road and you're talking, they talk a lot of smack. They do. Now, when I was driving was when the big movie was out, Convoy, with Burt Reynolds and all of that. The big trucking movie. where he's driving and you know, doing the trucking stuff, and the other one where what's his name was trying to catch him. But that was really popular, that series back then. And so one time I went to see the video. Now I went to a drive-in and I took the semi in there. I didn't take the trailer. I unhooked the trailer, but I took the, you know, I drove in and parked at the back and went to see the movies. And we'd have convoys. We'd have, you know, going, truck 'em up truckers, and, you know, we had to, sometimes we did speed, okay? And I'd tease the guys, you know, pull on your pantyhose and let's go. So one time, I was leading the pack. Come on, boys, put on your pantyhose. Step them up, let's go. And we're whipping down the highway. Then all of a sudden I see these lights behind. And I scooted out. And then a bunch of the other ones got caught. But they did all sorts of things. You'd run 2 sets of books. Okay? One set for the company and the other set for the police. The way stations and all of that. They'd run 2 sets of books. So I was running before they made it mandatory that you can only drive for, what is it, 8 hours or something. They since changed things, but when I was driving they didn't have that. And they would do all sorts of stuff, like they would carry extra different sign they could slap on the side of the truck to make it look like a different name. Yeah. And one of the trucks I was driving was horrible. It was, you know, now they have the long nose, and those ride so comfortable compared. We were driving this snub-nosed white, we call them the white road commodes, because they were crap. And you'd be bouncing off the ceiling of the thing because they rode so bad on the roadways. But the road commode. But yeah, all you see now are these long-nosed trucks. They run so much better than those flat things did. Those things were just horrid. And you'd be driving, it's a 16-gear Road Ranger, was the gear. And yeah. So like I said, I've spent a lot of time on the road. And I look at these drivers now and I just cringe. Because they're tailgating cars, tailgating other semis, and you cannot stop quick like you can in a car. You try to stop like that in a semi, you slam on that brake and that trailer's going to come around and smack you upside the head. It's going to jackknife. And then I see these fools going down mountain roads, and they're pumping these brakes. And that's the last thing you want to do with an air brake, because it heats them up, and then you're smelling this burning hot brakes. Yeah. An old truck driver told me long ago when I was starting to drive, when you go down those roads and you've got air brakes, you want to keep a little pressure on that brake the whole way down so they don't get hot. And you want to go down the hill in the same gear you crested with. And that always served me well driving. I never wound up with hot brakes. I never wound up with any of those problems. So yeah. But that's kind of the driving, you know, the on-the-road stuff. And when I was driving, that truck didn't stop. The only time it stopped was when you had to fuel it up. And that was it. When it's getting fueled up, you run in, you grab something to eat, and that's it. One's driving and the other one's back in the, they call the doghouse. The other one's back in the doghouse trying to sleep as you're being bounced off the roof. The roof. Yeah. So things have changed, I think, somewhat in the trucking industry. But yeah, it's a tough job. You've got a load that you're carrying and they want it to be delivered at a certain time and that's it. And then sometimes you get there and they've got a big backup and you got to wait hours to get in to unload, or, you know, it's just a lot of craziness out there. But I do like to watch that one guy. He's funny. Yeah, they tell me they're gonna kick my ass. So he's funny. I like to watch once in a while. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pull over here. They got a Vista Point, so I think I'm gonna pull off and have some breakfast. I'm gonna make my little egg bites and then hit the road again. And I think I'll go into San Francisco and get me some shumai. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll go grab some shumai. I love it. There's the best place up there out in the sunset. So I'm going to pick up some shumai and enjoy that. I'll have that today. Yeah. This lookout point is a good place to stop. And then I can scramble back and make some breakfast. And then hit the road again. Whoop. Yep. It helps if I can see. Back. And we are good. Lock them up. Oh, take a stretch. I'm gonna go back. I think I'll turn my engine off. I don't need it going here. I don't need it to run my to run my stuff to cook, so I'm going to turn the engine off for a few seconds and go back and make my morning breakfast.